take a warm shower, and if you're still having contractions, then head to the hospital. Hey guys, welcome to the Tarawali family. Today we're gonna do my labor and delivery story, which is going to be more of me talking.
I'm just here for emotional support.
And this one is here for food.
Welcome, baby Mulima.
And this one's here for food, huh?
New addition to the family.
You're eating. Say hi, people. But yeah, we're gonna do the labor and delivery story. I'm gonna take you guys, hopefully step by step, wrote things down so I don't blab too much or go off topic. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment. My due date was the 23rd of January, and then 23rd, right? Yeah, yes. 23rd. Damn, I'm forgetting already. But yeah, it was on the 23rd, and then I had him on the 29th, so he was 6 days late. Yep, he almost one more day and this boy would have been 41 weeks in my belly. So we can pretty much say he took 41 weeks in my belly.
I mean, he was not the other one though. Big brother also did the same thing. Ibatima was also about a week late.
Not about. Ibatima was actually 8 days late.
Yeah.
So he was past 41 weeks. He was 41 weeks one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thankful that, you know, I can carry kids to full term, but I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting. I'm not complaining. Again, like I said, I'm grateful, but it's exhausting.
I think this one was a little bit more different. Yeah. With Ibatima's pregnancy, you were rocking it like a champ. Even with this, you did rock it like a champ. But I think right when you hit 37 weeks, you're like, I want this thing out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, you're full term now. You're healthy. You can come out. Like, I'm done. I'm really done being pregnant.
That's true.
Because he was literally sitting in my pelvis or whatever it was, but it was just too much pressure to the point where I felt like I was probably dilating. And then whenever I go to my appointments at the end, they're like, oh, you're only 1 centimeter dilated, and I'm like, what the hell, crap. But yeah, my induction day was the 29th. Like I said, I started getting cramps 2 weeks before I actually had the baby. So the cramps will come at night, very painful, not like the very serious contractions, of course. It was pretty much like menstrual cramps, very uncomfortable. Some few nights I did not really sleep well, and if you know me, I can sleep. Okay, I can sleep. I need to go to like a sleeping. Do they have sports for sleep? Because I will definitely win.
You can sleep for 24 hours.
I can sleep for 48 hours, 72 hours, no problem. Get up, eat,
and go back
to sleep.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sleeping for, a few days. That's how bad it was. And then I want to say the week that I was going to have him, I guess, that Saturday was actually my induction date, the 29th. So my contractions officially started on Friday around 7 p.m.
Which is the 28th.
The 28th. The really bad ones started on Friday. Because like I said, I was having menstrual cramps. And then around 7 p.m. on Friday, the really bad ones started. I, used the yoga ball.
My hands.
Yeah, Tommy's hands. Tommy was like, oh, you should probably climb on the bed and go to sleep. And I'm like, the way I'm feeling, I can't even climb up a bed right now. So I told him, I said, you know what, just get me the yoga ball from downstairs. That was where I was sitting, and just, it kind of calmed me a little bit, actually. So that helped.
I mean, for me, I would probably say when it actually started, I was like, I don't know if this is it. Because like she said, right, I think the previous 2 nights, like starting, I think Wednesday night or so, Thursday night, she started complaining about cramps like around 5 a.m. in the morning. Then all of a sudden, and like right when we woke up, the pain went away. So I'm like, oh God. But my biggest fear actually was, I would probably say, is induction. Like I've never, I'm a guy, I will never get to experience it, but just hearing stories about how women who go through induction do end up with like C-section or other emergency stuff, I was praying like, Lord, please no. So Friday night when she actually started having contraction, I don't want to say it's sad. I was actually happy, like, yes, finally this is happening naturally, right? And I remember each time, like when she used to have the what was it called, the Braxton Hicks, Braxton Hicks, and I would be like celebrating, and she's like, "Why are you celebrating? Because someone is going to be in pain." I'm like, "Yes, but it's good pain." So when she had started having the contraction on Friday, I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus."
Yeah, and I mean, of course, the baby had to come out. So I was just playing, but I'm like, damn, this guy's celebrating. I'm about to be in pain. But yeah, induction. I had people on Instagram basically tell me their stories. They're like, man, I ended up having a C-section, because they're basically forcing you to have contractions, right? So it can go anyway. It can go anyway. It's not like the natural labor pain where you start from like menstrual cramps and then it gets worse and worse and worse. Right, exactly. Until you get to like active labor where you just scream and act like a crazy person, right?
You just squeeze my hands until I took off my ring finger. I mean my rings.
Yeah, I took a shower because one of the nurses told me when you feel like you're actually getting the real contractions, take a warm shower, and if you're still having contractions, then head to the hospital. So I used an app on my phone to time it, and twice the app told me, oh, I think you should head to the hospital, right? And then when I took a shower, I was in that shower, I'm like, oh.
I think I ended up wiping your body down, applying lotion on you.
I couldn't do anything.
This was around like around 1:30 something a.m. You know, 1:30 something. I want to say around 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, I was still up, of course, and I was low key excited that I'm about to meet this tiny human, but at the same time I'm like, oh Lord, she has to go through this process all over again.
Yeah. So like Tommy said, he dried me up. He put lotion on my body, and whilst I was getting dressed, he took a quick shower. And then we got to the hospital around 2:30-ish.
2:30-ish, yeah.
2:30-ish to like 2:40.
A.M.
We got to the a.m. Yes, on Saturday. And that my induction date was on Saturday, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Right.
So literally, this boy, I was like, I'm thankful. Thank God you didn't let them induce me, because I wasn't looking forward to that.
But when we arrived at the hospital, basically I dropped you off, and I had to park the car, and of course they had to ask her first about all the questions. Did they ask you all the questions to see if like, is your husband abusive? Blah,
they
blah,
did in the room. You were in the room.
Oh, okay. Usually they do it before.
No. They just checked me in and asked me like how I'm feeling, and then they saw me having contractions, because then when the lady asked me something, I was like, oh, wait. I was like, wait, I can't talk right now. She was like, wow, no, I think you're in active labor. And yeah, but no, they didn't ask me right there, but they did ask me when we got to the room. They usually ask like, you know, domestic violence, like, are you safe? Do you feel safe? Just like when you're pregnant and you go to your appointments, they, you know, call the woman first into the room and ask just to make sure you're safe. But this time around, they didn't have a choice but to ask in front of him, because he was right there.
I was standing right there, and I remember when one of the nurses asked, I just cracked up. I'm like, I hope not.
Yeah. So, and when I got to when they put me in the room, checked me, I was 7 centimeters dilated.
Amen.
7. So I was in active labor, like, definitely, because the way the contractions were coming, I literally had, I don't think I had much time to rest and breathe, because when I breathe, it's like, oh, it's coming.
Yep.
I
mean, had we waited at home for probably
2 more hours,
an hour, not even 2 more hours, like an hour, probably she might have had the baby in the car.
No, it's real.
Yeah,
I would have had the baby driving to the hospital.
And here's what I would say, right? Me watching you go through that process, and I'm not saying this because of you sitting here, and this makes me a little emotional. To be honest with you, like when we went to the hospital, I was thinking maybe we came to the hospital a little too early, because the way you were feeling with Ibatima's pregnancy and labor stuff, like the process here was different in general. Like with Ibatima's labor process, I feel like I can literally see the pain in your face. With this one, I couldn't really see the pain in your face. So I'm like, I was like thinking like, how is this going to go? So when we pulled up to the hospital and I came in like, you're 7 centimeters dilated, I'm like, this lady is freaking strong. I'm like, she is strong, because in my head, I'm like, maybe we came to the hospital too early. And I was worried that they would probably send us home again, because like I said, your face wasn't showing that type of pain that I saw with you having our first one.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, me to you, I commend you, bro.
Oh, thank you.
I commend you.
I think that's probably because I'm used to it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
This was your second.
It was my second, so I kind of, I know what to expect. With my first, obviously, I'm like, ooh. Even when we were driving to the hospital with the Batima, I remember when you like go in little bumps. I'm like,
yeah, with
baby,
this one,
careful. With this one, I didn't really do all of that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I mean, you didn't even squeeze my hands that much.
Yeah, I did squeeze you with the Batima.
Yeah, with Batima, literally cost me out. Tell me, with this one, when the baby was coming, I'm like, oh my God, he got so much here. You didn't tell me to shut that front door. So this was definitely a little different.
Yeah. But yeah, when we checked in and everything, of course, they asked you right away, especially because I was in active labor, I guess. So for it not to be too late, they asked me if I did want an epidural, and I told them, I'm not going to lie. I was like, maybe I should take it, but I'm like, I'm already 7. I can do this. Right. So I did have the thought to take it for one second, I will say, and then I told the nurse, no, it's fine. And they keep asking you, of course, because I mean, you're in so much pain, and I guess to like comfort you and stuff like that, they kept asking me.
And I think the other thing is all the nurses in the room were women, and they've had kids, so they know what that pain feels like. So that's why they keep asking, like, are you sure you want to do this all over again with no epidural? When the midwife came in, she was like, oh my goodness, kudos to you, mama. You are so freaking strong. Like, you're 7 centimeters dilated. And she came in, she checked me, and I was 8 now. But yeah, so pretty much no epidural. Both kids. Kudos to me. Speaking of epidural, one thing that people asked us even before we had the baby was, were you guys going to vlog the process? To be honest with you, no. Like, I was so in the moment. I feel like if you probably had epidural and all that, you have time to be cute in the hospital, make your vlog, do this. We really did not have time for that. We went to the hospital, we were on a mission. The mission was for this baby to come out healthy and for my wife to be healthy. That was, like for me, and after this I told them, like, it would be so crazy for me to even set up a camera and start recording this whole process. Like that's the last thing that came to my mind. Yeah. So I mean, we did take few clips here, and I did take actually few clips here and there. And when I was in labor, of course, Tommy did take like videos of me and Ibatima, because he was like rubbing my belly when I was having contractions and stuff like that, just for memories, cute stuff. But to actually like set up a camera and stuff like that, that was probably gonna be too much, So my biggest fear, believe it or not, was 1, having to get the epidural. I'm not gonna lie. And number 2, tearing, which I did tear. And I did tear with Ibatima, so knowing how it feels like and the healing process, even though it was faster with him, in like a week I was feeling not healed, but I was feeling okay. So those were my 2 things. So before we get to the baby and all that, when the midwife checked me and I was 8 centimeters dilated, she had other patients obviously to go help out. So what the nurse did was they turned me on my side, and this was the same thing they did with Ibatima.
which is why they say women are not supposed to give birth on their back. I wasn't laying flat on my back. They elevated my head a little bit, but they turned me on my side and put the peanut ball in between my legs. Listen, I don't know what it is with the side and that ball, but that literally took me from 8 to 10 in like what?
Real quick.
Yeah, literally the nurse just left the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe, call the nurse back. Like, I really feel pressure now. This baby's coming out.
And I think also it's important to point out that when the midwife was checking you at, I think 8 centimeters or what?
Mm-hmm,
That's when she used the whatever tool they used to pop your water.
Yeah. So I think that also helped progress. Because when your water breaks, it helps progress your labor. So between them breaking my water at 8 centimeters dilated to me turning to my side and that ball in between my legs, it just progressed so fast in like, I want to say 1 or 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me as a dad standing there, the most fascinating stuff was just the little sound, what's it called? You know how they attach the baby's heart rate to the monitor? Mm-hmm. That is just fascinating. Like, you can really feel the heart rate pumping, all the little movement by the baby and all that. And I was standing there, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And even though I wasn't feeling the contraction, but I can tell when it's time, because this boy was in there doing all kinds like, it's crazy. I recorded it actually. He was in there.
You did?
I did. I think I should have it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was in there just doing all kind of moves, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. For me as a dad standing around, that was the most.
Yeah, they have one. They have two on the belly. They have one for the contractions, and they have one for the baby's heart rate.
Yeah, and
so
that was amazing.
It was me, even though I'm in pain and all that. But when I hear the sound, it kind of like.
It was soothing to you.
Yeah, because as a mom, bringing a child into the world, it kind of makes you know your child is okay. And it gives you more strength, even though I'm like so freaking tired and in pain. But it actually makes you stronger, I would say. For me anyway. I don't know about any other mom, but me hearing that, I'm like, oh, we're almost there. My baby's about to be out, So yeah, on to the baby now. He came out 4/21. So we got to the hospital around 2:30-ish something. So in like pretty much 2 hours or less than 2 hours, I had the baby. Which is why Tommy said if we had stayed home for like the next hour or so, I would have had the baby in the car. And yeah, had the baby. They had to stitch me up because.
Why are you saying it lightly? It was so painful that I left the room.
I'm not saying it lightly. Like that's why I'm like, stitch me up, because just thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. So with my first and this one, I tore. With Ibatima, I tore plus they cut me. So, but for him, it was just outside. It was outward. With him, internally, externally, I tore. So they had to sew me up. Tommy always, did you leave the room with the bottom? You left the room,
I always leave the room.
Yeah, so he's there when I have the baby and stuff like that, but he just cannot handle that part.
I think with that part, you even scream harder than even you pushing out.
Yeah.
No. I couldn't. I even left the hallway. I went to the other side and I was just pacing back and forth, and everyone was asking me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." It was too the sound was just too painful for me to hear.
Yeah, because imagine having a baby. You just had a baby, no pain meds, no epidural, nothing. Now you're in pain from tearing, right? And then now they have to stitch you up. And this time around, like I said, I tore internally, so they had to stitch me up inside and outside. Ooh. That's how bad it was. The midwife actually, she did the external one. She could not get the one inside done because she didn't want to do something crazy. They are very scared of lawsuits or just doing something crazy that will probably make them lose their license or something, right? So she called the doctor. The doctor came in, she looked at my tearing, and she was like, I need to put a catheter because the tearing is like right next to your pee hole. I was searching for another name in my head, but I'm like pee hole. But so they had to put a catheter just so she doesn't stitch that place up. You get what I'm saying? She was like, we don't want to do that because then when you have to pee, that
would be crazy.
There'll be no place for the pee to come out, and that would be crazy for me and for them, right? So she put the catheter in. Oh my goodness, painful. I had to go through that. They tried giving me pain medication in my IV. That did not work for me. They tried using a numbing medication in the area, waited for a few minutes. That did not work for me. I was screaming the hospital down, even way worse than me pushing out the baby. With the pushing out the baby, I wasn't screaming like that at all. So it was that bad for me. But yeah, so they ended up stitching me up, and I had the catheter in for like a few hours.
Yeah,
because they
took it out Saturday. No, they took it out Sunday.
They took it out on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday morning.
Because the baby came out Saturday morning, and we left Sunday morning. Took it out, then we circumcision. Then we left.
Yeah. So they after that they cleaned me up. Asked me what I wanted to eat or if I was hungry, which of course, I mean, I'm hungry, okay?
You beat up the food, dog.
Just had a freaking baby. But I was like, yeah, sure, I'm hungry, I need food. Cleaned me up, they took me to the recovery room, set up everything in the bathroom and whatever I needed, and she brought me my food, asked us if we wanted the baby to be circumcised, and of course, they did check the baby, and I think they do like the eye gel or something for their eyes, and what are like the checks that they usually do at first.
So with this one was completely different from Igbatima. So with Igbatima, they gave him a shower at the hospital. Now they don't do that anymore. They said, I think you have to wait 24 hours. It's more better for the baby. They did some blood tests based on the fact that he pooped inside before coming out.
They both did. Yeah, these kids. I don't know what's wrong with them.
They both did.
I swear to God, both of these boys.
Oh, we forgot to mention that they were also both born on Saturday.
They were both born on Saturday. They both pooped inside of me before coming out.
Yep. Igbatima was 221.
Igbatima was born on Saturday 221. And he was born on Saturday 421. Crazy, right? So I don't know, these boys, I can't deal with them.
Yeah, but the process was definitely, they went through the blood work, and the other stuff is also his blood type is different from her blood type, so they had to do some testing for, I forgot what the name was.
Jaundice.
Well, not just the jaundice, there was something else about. Yeah, I forgot what the name was. God, I'm blanking out. Oh, to make sure that the baby's immune system are not fighting.
Yeah.
Something along the line of that. Then of course they did the Apgar test, the hearing aid, the eye, and all that stuff, just to make sure he's okay. They also did another blood work for State of California Health, something that I forgot. The papers are upstairs. We're not medical professionals, so please. Don't expect me to know. All we know is the baby's healthy.
We're thankful.
Which is why we came home to begin with. If the baby wasn't healthy or anything like that, they won't release us on a Sunday, just a day after she gave birth.
Yeah. It wasn't even a day after. Was literally a few hours. Yeah, so it wasn't a complete day. But yeah, like you said, the baby's healthy. We're thankful for healthy babies.
For me, it was kind of a little stressful because this boy waited for grandma to leave. That's when he decided to come. So I had to call on my cousin to come home and look after Igbatima while we went to the hospital. Then in the morning, I had to come back home to prepare breakfast, clean Igbatima up. So I was literally like...
He was back and forth.
I was driving back and forth. This one, even when they did the circumcision this time, I was like, wow. It's the Mende accent in me. Even when they did the
circumcision...
Let me take a pause. Even when they did the circumcision, I wasn't there because I was home here with Igbatima, getting Igbatima ready. But Igbatima's reaction was priceless. We do have a video of that will probably actually post because it was the cutest just when he saw his baby brother.
I know, it was so cute. It was so cute. But we're done having kids now, so that's amazing. But I'm just so grateful that, like I said, 2 healthy babies, no epidural, you know, my plan, the way I wanted to have my kids, having a very supportive husband.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the labor and delivery story. Anything else maybe you want to say?
No, that's it. I appreciate you. And this is our little bundle of joy.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he sleeps during the day, then at night he's a little tyrant.
I know. But anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave us a comment down below.
Yeah.
Like the video, share the video with family and friends. We love you.